Brian, it certainly was the tale of two halves. At halftime, it seemed almost impossible that UCF was going to be able to battle back just the way the game was trending and the turnovers. How much does it say about this UCF team that they were able to just leave the first half in the past and start fresh in the second?
It's almost, psychologically that UCF team said, hey, we know we've had some problems. We usually don't do some of the things that we did, but they were able to bounce back. But the first half was all Memphis Tigers. I mean, they had it rolling on the road. They had this crowd silence per se. I mean, it was really just a great first half for the Memphis Tigers because they did some of the things that we didn't think that they could do and still win. Memphis able to get some of the turnovers and that kind of thing in the first half. UCF trailed by 17 3 different times. But UCF did what they had to do to win the game. I'm telling you, it's a psychological thing. We're not going to lose. We don't lose at UCF right now, and they didn't lose in this game as well.
Brian, for Memphis, they had over 200 yards rushing just halfway through the first quarter. How much of a difference did the UCF defense make in the second half to be able to slow down that?
They made some great adjustments, and as we said, Coach Norvell was talking about, he thought that the UCF kids had different angles, better angles in the second half, but they shut that run down in the second half. They had to because UCF wasn't going to win this game if they didn't shut that running game down in the second half.
And here's the quarterback, Mack Jr., with a turnover in the first half. But he was going to learn from these mistakes and come back in the second half. And we're actually now joined here on the set by the UCF Knights. We're going to get back to this tale of two halves in just a second. But UCF head coach Josh Heupel and the quarterback Mack Jr. Sorry to watch that first half for you guys, but you know what? You're holding the championship trophy now, so I'm sure that's a whole lot sweeter. Thanks for taking a few minutes to stop by this set. Daryl, for you, what a tale of two halves. The emotions that you experienced in the first half, how were you feeling when you went into the locker room?
Well, I knew my team was going to be behind me. I knew my coaches were going to be behind me. And the biggest thing for me was just, kind of trying to get in and play my game. Felt like I was maybe doing too much, trying to do too much in the beginning of the game, but we got back and I felt I was more comfortable, so that's all I could pray for and got it done.
Coach, how much growth did your freshman quarterback show throughout the duration of this game?
He showed a lot of growth. There were a couple things that just, we missed in the first half. I got an opportunity just to look at him as he came off the field. Still had a great look of confidence in his eye. We believed in him, his teammates believed in him, and he believed in himself. And thought you saw him come out and play fantastic football, championship football in the second half.
Coach, when you talked to him at halftime, did you tell him to take a deep breath? You believed in him? And the other thing is, what is your defensive coaches, what kind of adjustments did they make?
Defensively, they did a fantastic job. Just, the way we were fitting some things, where our backers were +2, we were behind some things, so we got sealed up, and the ball was squirting into the third level right there early in the football game. Defensively, they started playing with great gap integrity, all right, started defeating blocks and making some tackles there in the second half. Played with great energy as well. Offensively, just at halftime, there were some things that we had in the first half that we weren't able to capitalize on. Felt like if we took care of the football, we were going to be able to move it and score points.
Daryl, when your offense started to make some plays in the second half and the momentum of this game started to shift, when you heard the fans bouncing in the stands, literally this place was shaking. I looked around, people had chills on their arms. What kind of adrenaline does that give your team to keep pushing through during those times of adversity?
Well, Night Nations, I felt like Night Nation was always going to be behind us. Me just stepping in, I felt very comfortable. Those guys out there in the crowd, hearing them rock like that, it made me very comfortable. And I knew that I was going to have to go make plays for them, make plays for my team, and that's what I did.
You told me in the post game that when you got back to the locker room, you were going to call your teammate and your friend, Mackenzie Milton. Have you had a chance to do that yet?
Yeah, I called him as soon as we got in.
What did you say to him?
With him. I was just telling him I loved him, and this was from him, and then he told me he was proud of me, and pretty sure we're going to have a more in-depth conversation when I get a chance to get in my room.
Coach, how proud are you of everything with how the team handled Mackenzie's injury and how this young man just stepped to the forefront?
Proud of our guys tonight. We've been in a similar situation. Actually, the first time we played Memphis, no matter what has happened during the course of this season, the 12 games that we've played, our kids have never blinked. They've continued to believe in the plan from the coaches, but believe in one another and go out and play at 0-0 and just play the next play for 60 minutes. I'm proud of what these guys have done in 11 months with this staff, just building this culture, building this family, and continuing to build our brand and our program.
Were you surprised that a team that goes undefeated one year can get together and get to a brand new coaching staff, your whole staff's new, you're new, and do the same thing again?
We took it week by week. You know, we had a 1-0 mantra, and our kids really bought into that. And their ability to just focus on what they can control, which is today's preparation, which took us to Saturday kickoff, is the reason why we performed the way we did throughout the entire course of the season. Our kids believe in one another. They believe in our coaching staff. They believe in what we're trying to do. I'm really so proud of these kids. You look at the first 30 minutes of football, the 3 turnovers were really the difference in the half, right? And then obviously we were struggling a little bit defensively. But for our kids to just continue to fight, compete, and go play, man, just really proud of them.
Coach, last time out against Memphis, your team found itself in a similar situation. How did that previous meeting impact the belief coming out of the locker room in the second half?
I do think our kids were really poised at halftime. No one was happy with what had happened. We were close to flipping, the score there. Right at the end of the first half, we end up fumbling a punt, and they go score and push the lead back up there again in a 2-minute situation. But our kids were really poised at halftime, great confidence in one another. And we had faced that situation before, and obviously our kids believed.
You got guys on this team that were actually 0-12 and not the other way. You flipped the script on that thing ×2 now, but those kids deserve a lot of credit too.
Some of these kids came in after they were being recruited when they went to the Fiesta Bowl and won a championship there. They come back in the redshirt season, they win a conference championship. Then they went Ophir, right?
Ophir, yes,
They
sir.
had seen what had caused that, and there's a fine line between success and failure in this game. If you're not deep in it, I don't know if people understand how fine of a line it is. When we took over in January, just great buy-in from these guys, believing in what we're trying to do. We gave them ownership in some things as well. We have great leadership. We have a great brotherhood inside of our locker room, and great love for one another.
Daryl, one of the veterans on this team is one of your offensive linemen, Wyatt Miller, and he was a part of that team that experienced that winless season. How does a veteran like Wyatt shed some of that wisdom on a player like you who hasn't lost a game here at UCF?
Well, not only me, but, like a lot of the young guys that are coming in, transfer guys, Wyatt, Tito, Pat, Joey, those other guys, they really took the reins on us, and they showed us the way. They showed us what not to do. They showed us what doesn't work, and then they showed us what worked. And, they really instilled in us to go out there, practice every day, win every rep, win every week, win every Saturday. And I feel like us younger guys have really tried to go out and play every game for them, and that's what we did.
Most teams and most people I would say that winning never gets old. And this team that has gone 12-0 this season and won the last 25 straight, how does this team keep each 1-0 week and each win exciting?
Well, whether it's Monday or Saturday, I feel like our guys are just taking it step by step, trying to go 1-0 every day, whether it's 1-0 every rep, when it's 1-0 every practice, when it's 1-0 every game. And I feel like, like a lot of people say that, but I feel like our team really, really has that in their head, and that anyone is exciting, but when you know that you put your all into every practice and come out here and put your all into the game, it's very exciting.
You're wearing this lei here on the set, and you look around, and there's still people standing here in the stadium right now wearing leis, showing support for Mackenzie Milton. When you had a chance to look around the stadium tonight, how surreal was it to see that support?
Actually, I knew it was going to be big, but I didn't think it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be like this, man. But everybody loves KZ. He's a
I think you might know that fine lady right there.
Yeah, that's my mom, man. I love her to death. But KZ's he's a great guy. He's a God-fearing man, and everything is going to be okay with him. And I just love how much Nine Nation supports him.
Coach, you have your conference championship now, and now you'll find out your future here hopefully tomorrow. What's next for this team?
We're going to enjoy this one tonight, man. A lot of hard work has gone into this moment. Really proud of our entire program, proud of the university, and we're going to enjoy this one tonight, and then we'll know our fate tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you. Best of luck to the both of you as we approach the new year. Appreciate it. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.